Have you ever watched or seen something that resonated so deeply within you that it's become a core part of who you are? See, in this modern age, we're surrounded by a lot of things to watch, things to do, books to read, to the point that one of the biggest issues today is finding what to watch on Netflix. Despite the abundance of content, there's one series that's forever etched into my soul: Naruto. Now, hold up. Before anyone says that, whoa, this is another anime guy, please hear what I have to say. Naruto presents many core principles of life needed to deal with hardship, loss, betrayal, and the longing for companionship. The main principle I'm going to look at today is perspective. One thing I love about the Naruto series is the parallel storytelling of both Naruto and Sasuke. It creates a contrast that shows how ideals and beliefs translate into actions and outcomes. Naruto, at a young age, lost his parents on the day he was born. All the villagers hated him for being the vessel of the nine-tailed fox demon because it killed many of their loved ones. He was not allowed the chance to know that he even harbored the nine-tailed fox demon. The result? He was the problem kid who did anything to get attention. But this changed on the very first episode of the series. An encounter with Mizuki revealed that he was indeed the vessel of the nine-tailed fox demon. But now that you have the backstory, let's really talk about that principle of perspective. On the second or third episode, I believe, their sensei, Kakashi, asks a question: what is your dream? And this is why perspective is so important. When asked that question, Naruto's response was, I am going to be Hokage. Now let's walk back a little bit. Why do you want to be Hokage when all the villagers hate you? You don't really have any friends. Why do you want to be the people who leads the people who hate you? That makes no sense. But this is why perspective is so important. To Naruto, his perspective was, right now, I'm not valuable to people. People see me as a liability. I want to become someone who's valuable enough that I will be respected no matter what I am. Isn't that interesting? That because most people in a situation like that where everybody hates them, either they decide to respond with the classic belief of, if the world is against me, or if the world turns against me, I'll turn against the world. Or they just decide to give up on life and say, everybody hates me, life is not worth living. But Naruto decides to challenge that and say, if people don't respect me, if everybody hates me, I'm going to make them respect and like me by becoming someone who's valuable enough that I'm become an essential part of society. That right there is a core principle of perspective. Like, many people go through hardships in life. You go through different situations. You have illnesses. You have financial problems. You could go through the loss of a loved one. But how you interpret that situation determines how you move forward and the outcomes that follow. That is why perspective is so important. Okay, so now let's look at Sasuke, the other character in this duality. He, in his past, lost his parents and his entire clan because his brother decided to kill every single one of them. Why? You find out later in the story. Spoiler alert. Okay, so you find out later in the story that Itachi decided to kill all the clan members because they were planning a coup d'etat to overtake and take over the Leaf Village. And so the third Hokage, along with Danzo, agreed that Itachi would go and slaughter the entire clan to prevent that from happening, to prevent a civil war from breaking out in the Leaf Village. What this meant was that Sasuke was left alone, having had a loving parents and surrounded by a community of people. He's now alone. All that's left is a brother who killed everybody he loved. How does he respond to that? Sasuke absolutely abhors his brother, to the point that when Kakashi asks that same question, in episode either 2 or 3. He asks, "What is your dream?" And Sasuke's dream, his reply is,
My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I hate a lot of things, and I don't particularly like anything. What I have is not a dream, because I will make it a reality. I'm going to restore my clan and destroy a certain someone.
"I'm going to kill a certain someone." And that's all we hear. And later on in the series, we find out that that someone is his brother Itachi. Now, let's look at how did he come to this reasoning. Unlike Naruto, who decided to take his situation and turn it into something to empower himself to change for the better, Sasuke's response was that I had this taken away from me, so the one thing I can do is I can get revenge and take the one thing that man has left, which is his life. That was Sasuke's response. That was his perspective, is that I cannot see any good in this situation. The only thing that's worth doing is to kill his brother. And for that, he decided to seek power. And at first, he had some principles about how to get power. He wanted to become strong on his own. He trained along with the squad. He trained with Naruto and Sakura. He later trained with Kakashi, who taught him Chidori. But it still wasn't enough, because he saw Naruto growing and became jealous to the point that he said, "No, I need power elsewhere." And that led him to Orochimaru and the later down spiral of his obsession with power. Why is that important? Naruto's core principle was, I want to become respectable and I want to be able to lead others, while Sasuke's core principle that drove him was revenge. And because of the two different paths that they chose, Naruto was able to grow to the point where, as you see him working so hard, like, it attracted a lot of people. Because when you see someone who works hard and is passionate about what they do, you naturally attract others around you they're pulled in by that passion. And that's what Naruto did. He had that passion to the point where others wanted to train with him, and that unwillingness to bend, to give up, to keep pushing forward despite the hate that surrounded him, it gave others a newfound respect for him, and it allowed him to truly look past the situation of others and to see people for who they are. That's why after defeating Pain, the villagers cheered him on, because he put his life on the line to save them from this foe who no one else was able to beat. That was worthy of respect. Sasuke's ending was different though. In his case, because his life was so built around revenge, after getting revenge, everything crumbled. He discovered that his obsession with revenge against Itachi was ill-directed, because Itachi wasn't the mastermind behind the clan annihilation. It was decided by the leaders of the Liden League village, Danzo and the third Hokage. Sasuke was almost driven to insanity. He even attempted to kill his former teammate, Sakura. That's how bad it was. So then, what conclusion does that bring us to? I always tell people the most important thing to realize in life is that you cannot control people, you cannot control nature, but you can control you, how you think, how you act, and what you believe.